Cali Binders, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money, got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga Wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shine.
Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman, you know the vibe. So who I'm here with today?
All right. Marcellus.
Man, this has been quite some time, Marcellus. How are you doing today, first of all?
Can't forgive and won't forget.
Man,
I'm doing good.
Them some powerful words. Can't forgive and won't forget. Okay, so let's get into it, man. Where did you grow up at originally?
Originally, my folks come from, like everybody, the low bottoms. That's what they call now the low bottoms, the deep east side, way down there in the 20s and all that.
So your family wasn't like migrated from Texas or Louisiana, you know what I mean? You didn't have that experience?
No, I was born out here.
Wow.
Yeah.
What schools did you attend?
Elementary, Caldwell Elementary School.
And that's in Compton, right?
Yep. Enterprise, that's in Compton. That's a junior high, Compton High School.
Mm-hmm. So let's start off at Enterprise. What was Enterprise like, and what year did you attend?
I'm trying to I say 70, 71, 72. Enterprise was it was all right. This is before the gangs really took hold. People were still kind of normal humans then.
Normal? In what sense? When you say normal, that could mean a lot.
People weren't bent on gang banging.
Okay.
Trying to decapitate you and take your things and all that. It was a whole different vibe then. It was school and just being young. You feel me?
My cousin went there, man. You probably knew him, Kenny Smith.
Yeah, man.
You
that
knew
was
Kenny?
My brother's partner, but I knew Kenny Smith. As a matter of fact, he lived on the side of the school there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Winfred is your brother, right?
Right.
So him and Kenny was tight.
Was tight. It was real tight.
What was it like going to school with Kenny?
I barely seen Kenny, man. If he went to school, I barely seen him.
What kind of person was he?
He was a humble cat, but Big Kenny was a scrapper. He was like one of the first like gangsters out. Like him and Winfred used to wear those Godfather hats, Stacey Adams, the slacks.
So they were sharp dressers.
Yeah, among other things.
You ever see Kenny squabble?
Oh yeah.
Would he be considered a hand god or just a great squabbler?
No. He was a thumper.
Okay.
He was hitting hard and he could fight.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you also had some experiences in the Watts area and we're gonna get to that. But what I want to know, so at Enterprise, what year did you recognize that stuff that had been a paradigm shift? Because I'm taking that 71, there was nothing. Or was you aware of the CRIP situation in 71, or you become?
In 71, I was very aware of it.
And what was your first introduction?
Well, my first introduction was at work, because I worked in Watts.
WOCAC?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like?
Oh, that was cool. You know, put some change in our pockets, because at that time, Levi's were like $6.50. You know, the real thick ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you buy your Kroger sacks, your shoes. Thousand Eyes were like $6 then. You know, nice shoes. hard ass shoes.
You can
Never
kick-
wear out.
You can kick somebody with them.
Man, come on, man. 1,000 eyes.
So at WLCAC, so is that where you? I'm sure that there was more than just you working there. Does anybody that come to mind that probably was part of the direction as far as the cripping or even the Damu, I would say, that worked alongside of you, watch WLCAC?
Well, it was Melvin.
Melvin Thomas?
Max brother. Yeah.
Okay.
Melvin worked there. He was in my brother in his crew. And but I used to talk to Melvin all the time because I didn't know anything about the Crips per se. I just knew of them. But he used to tell me about them, talk to me about them. He said, man, you ought to come on my street, man, after work, which was at that time 103rd Central Avenue. I said, yeah, man, all right, man, you know. So that was like my first real connection, you know, meeting these guys, these badass motherfuckers with bald heads and shit.
That's interesting that you say that because Honcho had that same experience with going to the house party in Compton, and he said Melvin was the first one that took him over there.
Yeah.
So Melvin must have been, man, on the sly side, probably recruiting or just exposing.
Well, Melvin was a tough cat, man. He was a real tough cat. He could thump, he could handle himself, but he was kind of smart because he wouldn't allow himself to get put in situations either. You feel me?
Was he younger or older than Mac?
He was younger than Mac. Matter of fact, I believe Melvin and I were the same age.
Okay.
Or he may have me by a year.
Okay.
But he and I were around the same age because later we ended up going to Compton High together. Yeah.
So what was some of the first Crip sets that you became aware of, or was it just East Side, Compton, West Side? How did that unfold for you?
Well, East Side, which was 103rd then down the street was Carver Park, 118th. Now, I spent a lot of time with Carver Park because I went to church on the corner of 118th, Palm Lane Church. So I used to always leave church and go around the corner and kick it with the fellas. Zane, Zach, Robert Bifford, the Bifford brothers, that's a Color Bar, Lil Bobby, and all of them, and Gangsta Tim, you know.
Was Undertaker there, Felton?
Yeah, old Felton, man. Rest in peace, U.G. Felton, man.
What about
Undertaker.
Tucker, Roy Tucker?
Roy Tucker, Glue Baby, you know, all of them.
And that was what, Sherry Caprice?
We used to hang out in the Sherry Caprice a lot.
What was that like? Because I heard a lot about the Sherry Caprice. I didn't get a chance to hang it because I'm younger.
That was an earlier version, a bigger, earlier version of Boot Hill in Compton.
Explain.
Because in the Sherry Caprice, a lot of people wasn't paying rent there. See, they were just living up in there. You feel me? And most of the gang members, the homies, and everybody had spots. And it was women in there and such and such. There was some families in there. But the Sherry Caprice was, that was like headquarters because a lot of cats used to come out from LA, from the 40s, from the West Side, and they used to hang out in the Sherry Caprice.
Who were some of the notable ones that hung out there?
Godfather, Took, Barefoot Pookie, you know, everybody.
What about Cutes?
I never really saw Cubes.
Rusty, Mouse.
I always knew Mouse and Rusty. Now, Rusty was my buddy because he used to come out and hang out in the Grandies. But Cubes was always in jail or juvenile hall or county jail or something. But I didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
I knew of him.
He's a very dignified individual when it comes to this. He was a forward thinker. I would perhaps put him in that sense, definitely. But as to the Sherry Caprice, what were some of the things that on a daily activity that would happen in the Sherry Caprice?
Oh, come on.
Not I'm not even talking about nothing that's too over the top, but just how you guys would relate to one another.
Shooting dice, gambling, drinking a little bit here and there, cleaning our guns. No.
Was Bruno down there as well?
Yeah, he used to hang out there too. Bitter Dog Bruno. When I first met Bruno, I said, "Who is this guy, man?" I said, "Man, that's Bruno, man. That's your brother friend." Because him and Winfred were friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Winfred never went by nothing else but
Big Fred.
Man, it's usually when you hear somebody when somebody is called by their name,
Yeah.
they better watch it. That's the individual that you have to look out for, because that's never failed me. When I heard somebody say, "Man, that's such and such," and I'm like, "You don't have no gang?" No, that's just Marcellus, or that's just Winfred.
Yeah.
Those individuals.
Yeah,
like
I never really had a nickname. I didn't have time to find a nickname.
So, at what point did you meet Mac Thomas?
I met Mac on the 103rd when I went down there after work, and because I usually used to catch the bus home, but I said, "No, I'm not gonna catch the bus today. I'm gonna go down there and walk on the 3rd," and that's when I hooked up with Melvin. He introduced me to Mac. He said, "Man, this is my brother Mac." He introduced me to Lee, their other brother, Lee Thomas, and the young one at that time was Orlando.
Okay.
Landis.
So, what was that first initial meeting with Mac? How did that go? Because at this point, you gotta know that this guy is something more to him than just his name.
No, first thing Mac said, "Did you want to be a Crip?" I said, "What? What you talking about?" No, but Mac was cool, man. Mac was like, he had a personality that you couldn't help but like him. His personality was like a laid back, but over the top, so you can tell he was in fucking charge of something, man, because he'd be like this. Mac be like this.
All the time. So that was that ready mode during that time, right?
Yeah, Mac was at that time he was a serious type cat. You know.
So what was that that made you so drawn to him, or was that just he was just that type of person?
I just like all those cats there at that time. Strawberry, Ricky Silas, Kenny Tillman, all these dudes was like, they was buddies and they was fucking running together and stuff. And I said, yeah, I can get down with this right here.
So at what point did you meet Raymond?
Raymond used to come over there, but my first time meeting Raymond was in 112th Street School, where all the crews used to line up at for, work in the morning. And then he used to wear a khaki suit all the time. But when I first met him, the first thing that he said to me was, "What's up, little cuz?" I said, all right. Because everybody was scared of him. Everybody in there was scared when Mac and Melvin and Raymond and them used to come in to the 112th, where all the for the crews was lining up. They come in there and just stand up there, and my uncle was kind of panicking. It was kind of panicked because these little bad motherfuckers with honchos on and bald heads and stuff, they was looking like.
So there was something. No, go ahead. Finish your
point. One time, we were coming up 103rd from a work site. We painted some poles, and we came up 103rd. I said, "Oops." I said, "Man, the crew chief must don't know where he's at." So he take us up 103rd. We go right by Mac and them house, and so they came over there. All the homies came over there and got to messing with the crew chief. And he said, "Hey man, don't mess with me. I'm this and that. This is my crew." And they said, "Man, shit." And they got on him and he took off. The crew chief took off and left us. He just left the whole crew, right?
Right.
So Melvin, man, y'all ain't got to worry about, man. Y'all can walk back and stuff. So I started laughing. I said, "Boy, the crew chief just took off. He just took off and just left us there." Man.
Did he come back?
No. He waited for us.
Where did he wait at? Back up at Watch WCLC?
No, at the corner. Central. And 103rd. He's standing down there. But did they hurt on you? So did they hurt you guys? No, they didn't hurt us. They was finna hurt you. He hightailed it out of there, man. I felt kind of bad for it. Mr. Tolliver, I'll never forget that cat, man.
So what was some of the things that stood out about Raymond? Because Raymond had a unique style, and I think he's quoted as, I want to quote this from you, is that the top button.
Yeah. That
started with Raymond.
That's where I got that from, because he used to button his khaki suit up all the way up here. I said, "Man, that look kind of cool right there." So I adopted that. And then folks started on Lantana. Everybody used to like to button their top button. And I said, that was just the thing, man.
Yeah, I think it symbolized, that menacing, threatening look go along with the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because later, when I went to the pen in '76, a lot of cats that drove iron always button their top button, always on their coat, shirts.
And what was the significance behind them doing it? Because that might have been when Raymond picked it up in 70. Was it 72 he went to the pen?
No, well, no. When I met Raymond, it was way before he went to the pen.
Okay.
Yeah, way before that.
Okay.
I hear a lot of dudes talking and fat-mouthing about they did this, they did that. And one thing I know, and if somebody really knew him, Raymond could fight. He loved to fight. The dude had a squabble hand. Raymond was in shape, and the dude could thump. And I'm listening to cats on, from YouTube. Yeah, well, I did. You a lie. It ain't true, man. Hey, Raymond would get in the motherfucker's ass, and that'd be the first thing. Well, let's go head up, quick.
He'd get that out the way.
Yeah, man. He loved to fight, man. He was a thumper.
Because there have been some people that tried to put it out there that he was known for packing, but I never heard that besides from
he probably packed a piece here and there, but he wasn't known for pulling out a weapon and start capping. You know, everybody packs, you know, but he wasn't a shooter. I'll put it like that. Cause so you have some cats who are designated shooters, period. He wasn't one of them.
Between Mac Thomas and Raymond, and possibly even Mad Dog, right?
David?
Yes.
Let's clarify that. Big David.
Big David.
From 92nd Street.
From 92nd Street. There's been about the leadership of the Crips, right?
On that side.
On that side.
In
right?
that area there, the east side, because that was the east side there.
Mm-hmm.
And
so were they like two separate east sides, or was it one east side?
in my opinion, it was only one east side then. That was Mac Thomas in there. That was the east side.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the kitchen. And the reason why they called him that because the man that owned the store was Mr. Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And it was written on the store. So a lot of Rips from in that area used to hang out at the store, so they just started calling them Kitchen Crips. Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked you that, because there's been a guy that actually said that it was a point where Mad Dog actually had the keys, you know, and I don't know if it was Raymond out the way or was Mac out the way. I don't know. I can't quite put that together, but I think Mad Dog had a lot of influence.
Well, he had a lot of influence, but Mac and them had left 103rd and went to Compton. So then Mad Dog probably stepped up a little bit. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And Raymond was still around then. I'm trying to think, was Raymond still around? Yeah. This is before he went and got locked up. So I'm not gonna take nothing away from Mad Dog, from Big David.
And matter of fact, rest in peace to Mad Dog, Big David.
Yeah. I don't remember him really just running the east side.
Okay.
Having meetings and all that.
But he was a force to reckon with.
Yeah.
What about Ricky Silas? We lost him in 79, 78.
Yeah, we lost him a long time ago, man. Ricky Silas. Ricky Silas was something else, man. He was a wild card, man.
Wild card. When you say wild card, explain.
He was just a tough motherfucker, man. He was tough. Ricky was tough, man. But if he was your friend, he was your friend. You know what I'm saying? I really got to know him in juvenile hall. LP.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And if I remember, he had stabbed a white boy in the face with a fork because he had asked the white boy, "Hey, so pass the milk down." And the white boy, "I'm not finished with it yet." Bam! I said, "Oh Lord."
Was that your first introduction to, what's that? What would we call that? Juvenile hall?
Yeah. Because I wasn't a cat who always was in jail all the time. Mm-hmm. But this particular instant, I had went to jail for a pistol, I believe. And back then, they wasn't too hard on us for pistols, like now. But I got caught with 4 or 5 pistols. But that was like my first real incarceration was juvenile hall. I never went to camp. Yeah.
Well, let's leave it right there, and we're gonna go lock the door for a minute. Can I lock the door?
Lock the door, big dog.
Lock it.